In the ghetto.
Know when to hold 'em.
In the ghetto.
Know when to fold 'em.
Know when to walk away.
Know when to run in the
In the
ghetto.
ghetto.
How we movie in this bitch?
I think we just movie it.
Okay, I'm
Did
down
you
for
get all
that.
your stuff done yesterday?
Mostly, I didn't get my grading done, so I had to get that done during prep today, which means I have to lesson plan tonight. It's a whole thing.
So everybody got F's, is what you're saying.
Usually not.
Everybody
Yeah,
got incompletes.
usually it's good for them if I don't grade. You're right. When I grade, their grades go down.
I was looking at fantasy. I'm in Seth's league. I'm in the playoffs, right? The 2 seed.
Yeah.
And I'm looking at it. If you were to look at my team at the start of the season that I had to play, you would have been like, "What the fuck?" And Aaron Jones was a late add-in, like last second. They're like, "Oh, he's
Yeah.
healthy." It was going to be. I'm pulling them up right now because I can't even remember some of their names. It's like notoriously backups.
It's been a very injury laden season.
Oh my god, they're blaming everything on turf too.
Yeah, no kidding. Jinjo, get out of here if you're gonna get out of here.
Come on, app.
Move.
Well, this app has never been this slow. Restart it. There we go. So I got Will Levis,
Yeah, back up.
Jalen Warren,
Back up. I like him though.
Zamir White.
Yep. Double back up.
I was going to be playing until Aaron Jones came in at the last minute. Jackson Smith and Jigba.
Rookie. Third stringer.
And a third stringer, Jaden Reed.
Yeah, rookie. Back up.
Zay Jones. No, it was going to be Rashid Shaheed.
And you're winning?
No, I'm losing right now. It's going to be
Jinjo, stop.
Isaiah Likely at tight end.
He's good.
And then, but also a backup. And then Cowboys D and Brandon McManus.
And the Cowboys D is backups.
No, they're like the number one team, but they got -1 point,
Not
and my
this week.
kicker got me -1 point.
Special teams, come on.
So Dustin gets to play me in a week where I'm out my top 4 players, and my defense and kicker get me -1.
That's fantasy, baby.
That's and
That's
we've got
movie.
balls,
And yeah, and vitamins.
but mostly balls.
The most famous pharmacist. Him and the guy from It's a Wonderful Life.
Yep, those two, and we've done them both.
We need to do some famous teacher movies now.
There are so many.
A lot of famous teacher movies, and then none of them are really good. Teacher movies aren't good.
What about
generally?
What about Stand and Deliver?
I don't. Not that good.
What about Lean on Me with Morgan Freeman?
Not that good. It's boring. Even the Robin Williams one is a little boring.
Dead Poet Society? I mean, yeah, it is, but it's good. What about...
We need some better teacher movies. Bad teacher, bad movie.
Training Day. Denzel Washington was kind of a teacher in a way.
That's a mentor movie. Get out of here, Kat. Last time.
A mental movie. Why don't you just actually close the door?
Well, then he'll just meow and scratch at it all day. He's a disaster. All right, let's movies.
Let's move this. Okay. Are you ready?
Yeah, I should be. Oh. Okay. Ready.
Okay. 1, 2, 3, play.
Movie.
It's a movie, guys.
We did the Nicole Kidman thing. We've done our Cats facts. We remember what our cat facts are called and everything. We're going.
We sure do. And so
A Christmas fact?
our Scut Factus.
That's right. I remember. Of course,
We
that was
remember that.
merely minutes ago.
Our Scut Factus and
Nicole Kidman.
and she was
did stuff.
doing some crazy stuff.
She always does. And we remember it all. But let's get into the movie.
She shot her eye out, remember?
That's right. Probably. Sounds about right.
We're getting into the movie. Where'd you watch this?
I watched this a split of on my cell phone before the boys JV game and then on my laptop. So not the best locale probably.
I meant like streaming services.
Oh, I think both in less than legitimate fashions. Even though it was free somewhere.
I watched it on Max, yeah.
Yeah, because it was on my phone. I think I had to watch it on a website. Hey,
there's Jinjo. Yeah, Jinjo.
You don't need to get into the closet.
He's gonna destroy your clothes. He's gonna shred them.
But I mean, I'm sure everyone else probably watched this on TBS and TNT.
Yeah, for sure. So as we get into it, I did put a note here first that on HBO Max or just Max, they played an ad before it. And the ad was like every Christmas film possible, but also multiple of the Harry Potters in there. And that was the only
It is a weird Christmas staple, the Harry Potters.
I know. And it was the only non-specifically Christmas movie in there. Oh, he's going to get you.
Fucking so stop handsome. Whining.
No, there he goes. So yeah, weirdly, I mean, I agree. It's like, oh yeah, you
watch them around Christmas.
Harry Potter, Christmas, and Halloween.
You marathon them. They family them
between October and December. But yeah, so the movie though, you get adult Ralphie narrating about himself as a kid and the joy of Christmas season while the intro credits roll.
And you could tell. And it makes sense because I didn't know this before that it was lifted from this guy's like humorous writings, like sort of David Sedaris style, because that's how the movie is narrated. And that's largely the comedy of the movie is this narration. Is like in a curio type of way. Like, ho ho, and we were little youngins, little adults. This is what life was like.
He uses some big fucking words too.
And I think that's like the crux of the comedy of this movie. It's not that the kids themselves are necessarily funny, but over the top of it, he's being like academic and Woody Allen-y almost about it.
Yeah, sure.
I got a lot of Woody Allen out of the narration.
Devin would have hated the intro credits because it starts as just a black screen with words, and I think
the right way to start
a movie. Deck the Halls was playing. Maybe Christmas Time is Here, but then you get a little bit of scenes.
Santa Baby.
But you get a little bit of scenes like cars driving, but he would be upset that they're not already shooting BB guns. So
yeah, that Christmas Story hasn't already been titled and
told and aren't finished. Yeah. And you get downtown Cleveland. I can't remember what the town they actually said was, but it's filled with bands and shoppers and carolers and festive decorations and Jinjo meowing so loud.
He wants to get into the closet.
And Kid Ralphie and friends.
And there's no World War II stuff.
Like there's no. Yep, we talked about it. They stand at the corner of Higbee's toy store, watching through the glass at all the wonders in there. When something spots Ralphie's eye.
The Holy Grail, Brandon, of toys.
It's Indiana Jones's Holy Grail. That is the toy.
He would care less about that than what's actually in this store.
Of course he would.
It's a Red Ryder BB gun. Get the fuck! Why are you like that? He's like upside down. Let me
kicking the fucking closet door upside down. Get it. Tune into the second YouTube video at 9:36 to see Jinjo upside down kicking the door. That's gonna be
audio
so
difficulties.
Fun to edit. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I mean he loves this with the scope and the compass in the barrel and the 200 BB shot caliber lever action.
How old is our little nerdy bespectacled Ralphie? Like 9 or something?
9.
Oh yeah, because don't give 9-year-olds guns. I think everyone with sense knows, but this movie does such a good job of putting you back in the shoes of a 9-year-old, and you're like, fucking get the gun.
I need a gun.
You know what I mean, though? Yeah.
Oh yeah, I do. And Ralphie will now have to devise a plan to convince his parents to buy him the gun for Christmas because he's a 9-year-old. You probably shouldn't be getting a 9-year-old a gun for Christmas.
He can't just ask for a gun. He has to psychologically Inception style plant it in his parents' head.
Yeah. And his first trick is to put an ad inside his mom's magazine. So when she opens it, she's like, oh,
good idea.
It is good, yeah.
Doesn't work.
No. And at the breakfast table, Ralphie has no luck too. He's kind of dropping hints while his dad is just worried about the furnace and baseball, and he's trying to do a crossword puzzle for $50K. He's always trying to like win something.
A get rich quick type of guy, yeah.
Yeah.
He's prize hunter, and he's a pretty good character. I think a lot of dads are molded into this dad, right?
I gotta work on the house. We gotta get rich quick. Sweepstakes, yeah.
And he's always cursing.
Always cursing. And mom asks Ralphie straight up, she's like, what do you want for Christmas? And he just blurts out, I want the Daisy Red Ryder BB gun. So much for laying the hints on subtly. She shut it down quick, though. You'll shoot your eye out.
Yeah, because he blew it. Yeah, he's like, eat and these are into it. Yep, shoot your eye out. The mantra of the movie. A phrase I've heard a lot myself.
Me too. As a quote from this and otherwise. And because she shut him down, he has this daydream of him in full cowboy gear with his BB gun.
His justification for having the gun.
Yeah, Black Bart and his fellow burglars are trying to break into the house. And who's going to save them but Ralphie, the BB gun wielding cowboy?
This is like a little bit of a John Wayne sort of parody, right?
Exactly.
Little seven. What's the Lucky Seven?
Sure. The Seventh Seal.
No, not that.
I'm pretty sure that's a Swedish John Wayne existential surrealist film.
Hey, that's there, Death. Your move there, partner.
Death just pokes him and he's dead.
It's kind of what happened in real life.
Don't get into a duel with Death.
Or John Wayne.
Either one. He got the fastest 6-shooters in the West.
Have we talked about how the Genghis, I think it was his Genghis Khan movie, gave everybody cancer, including him, and like everybody died from cancer from that set.
What?
Because they like filmed it. I want to say they like filmed it right where they dropped the test bombs in New Mexico. Like as soon like a little bit after, like
all got radiation.
I'm pretty sure they all got cancer. Like 80% of the cast and crew got cancer, including John Wayne. That's
crazy. What about Wizard of Oz, where the snow that they used, the fake snow, was all asbestos?
Yeah, people were such dumbasses.
I was reading one other like crazy thing, and I can't remember what movie it was, but there was one of the main actors in the movie and 2 hired kids in it, and they were like in this. Yep. Where they get their
helicopter. That's the Twilight Zone. That was John Landis.
That's right.
Yep.
Yeah. Actor and the 2 kids that were playing, and they were wading through the water, and the helicopter that's used on the set crashes on top of them and decapitated them.
I'm pretty sure, yeah. And they were like the whole time, they're like, it's too dangerous. Let's not do this. And John Landis is like, we have to get this shot for my Twilight Zone movie. And like Spielberg was like best buddies with him before that and never talked to him afterwards.
Yeah, that's not good.
Yeah. He made American Werewolf in London though, so he's forgiven.
Is he? Yeah, maybe not the parents, but so after all this daydreaming and the dad's fighting with his car when he comes in and the furnace is acting up again in the basement. He goes in there and does nothing but cuss and square. But they cleverly mask it. Yeah, they cleverly mask it with gibberish as the family listens in.
And that's honestly what it sounds like when your dad is cursing up a storm a little bit when you're a kid. Like we talked about, like the first time you hear cocksucker, you're not a little bit. You're like, what the fuck? What is that?
You're like, oh yes, sucking cocks. I get it.
Yeah, but you're like, yeah, but that was like my first reaction. I was like, what? Can you put those 2 words together? What does that even mean? Not just like complete shock. Yeah.
Dickweed.
Dickweed.
That's a good one. But it is ready to go to school, and Randy, the little brother of Ralphie, gets so bundled up to go to school, can't even put his arms down.
Not a kid's name, Randy.
No.
Unfortunate. And yeah, and he lags behind this little turtle.
It's weird that the mom doesn't dress up Ralphie like this. He's like in just a normal coat and a hat and gloves. Randy's in 3 coats and a scarf wrapped all the way around his head with gloves and then mittens, and
Randy's
he's just waddling.
gentle. He's sensitive.
He's very. And Ralphie's walking to school with his friends Flick and Schwartz, and they talk about sticking their tongue to a metal pole in the winter. The one of their dads said it will get stuck, but Flick doesn't believe him.
Rumors. And then Randy just falls over and is stuck, and they leave him there.
Yeah, he turtles it. Like you said, he turtles it. He can't move, so he can't get up. He can't move his arms.
They just leave him.
And so it's at school. Miss Shields, who is pregnant, and they just made her look stout. They play the best prank on her. They all got fake teeth.
That I would die laughing if my students pranked me with the fake teeth.
That was so funny.
Yeah. Great prank.
And especially because you could watch some of them laughing in there because
it's harmless too, like, right?
Yeah.
It's not like they fucking put a tack on her. I always thought that would be a cruel prank. That's
so cruel. Prank. Yeah.
Stab your teacher in the ass. Yeah. They sat on a nail or clothespin or something.
They sat on a
charges.
Knife.
But if they had the fake teeth, I'd laugh. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's hilarious. And at recess, Ralphie's friend Flick argues with Schwartz about sticking their tongue on that flagpole out there. Schwartz does the dare, the double dog dare, skips right over triple dare.
This is what I mean. Like the movie is mainly the narration, because he eschews the social norms of the triple dare and jumps right to the triple dog dare, the most envious of all, or whatever.
Yeah,
which is funny.
No kid would ever say that, but yes. And which means
it's very Woody Allen-y.
Flick has to do it. He has to stick his tongue because he triple dog dared him. He goes in, he gets his tongue stuck, and the recess bell rings, so all the kids run inside, leaving him stuck to the pole.
And then when they do attendance for the second half, they're like, "Where's Flick?" Yeah, he's screaming.
So fire department's got to come. Cops eventually show up to help the teacher free Flick. But back in class, Flick ain't no snitch.
Of course not. That's just kind of the code of the movie.
So the teacher kind of tries to guilt. She knows it's Ralphie and Schwartz because they're his friends.
But she wants them to confess it.
They're not going to talk. There's no way.
They're little mafia boys. That's what I mean. Like the movie has a little bit of parody of other, like we had the John Wayne thing. We have a little bit of a Boys in the Hood mafia guys, right?
Yeah.
I ain't fucking
another moment where he's like, no one would even succumb to the idea of confessing what are true actions, because it's better to do it and get away with it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So the teacher gives the class, this is a big part, an assignment to write a theme of what they want for Christmas. Not technically a theme.
Not a theme. A theme is a lesson, actually. We've talked about that a lot in English classes lately.
Not a theme
is a lesson you want to impart to the reader. So even like a theme of violence, that's not a thing. It's like a theme of violence is bad, or violence is America, or something like that. Otherwise, it's just merely a motif. But yes, not even a motif. This paper. This is just what you want.
This is mostly just a declarative statement.
Yeah.
And it's also due tomorrow morning. She's like, I got a big paper for you. Got to bring it in tomorrow morning. Damn.
Yeah.
It's only
that's how they would back in the day.
But Ralphie's excited. He knows he's gonna nail it. Teacher's gonna believe in him that this present is true. He needs a Red Ryder BB gun.
Yeah, and he's got this harebrained idea that the teacher will convince the parents, like he's such a good writer, you have to give him this gun. Good idea. Stop.
Which is ironic that the pen is mightier than the sword.
Than the gun.
So Ralphie and friends are walking home from school when Scut Farkas, the bully, ambushes them laughing with also Grover Dill, the other bully. Sidekick. He's so small.
Yeah, he's a Klingon, and Scut is just the ugliest fucking abomination of a kid you'd ever seen, right?
Messed up teeth. He's a ginger.
Hair. He's got snot coming out of his nose.
Face is all scarred up.
Fucking Scut.
But they pick on him and they just start beating up Schwartz. They abandon They always do the notorious put your arm behind your back and pull it up kind of thing, which that
one
shit
hurts.
hurts.
Yeah, you could fucking take his shoulder out, knock it out.
That's like a Kimura. That's like a submission hold.
It's a half Nelson. It's like illegal, I think, even.
And they run away. Schwartz is left for dead, basically. And Ralph gets home. He checks the mail because he's waiting for a little Orphan Annie decoder pin. No luck.
Yeah, a little side story. Yeah, a couple of little side stories to the main story.
So now he starts on an assignment, and he's so proud of his work. And the dad comes home yelling that he has won something. It wasn't this $50K from the crossword.
Wasn't even money.
It wasn't even money. But all of this
Something
is overshadowed by the neighbors, like 100 hound dogs chasing him down and barking at him. They're always like, just chasing him.
Well, and they're always only like they have a weird thing for the old man, for the dad only. They just love him.
There's so many hound dogs, and supposedly the dad won some telegram sweepstakes.
I think this is a bit of clever filmmaking where it's like, as a kid, your neighbor may have had 4 hound dogs, but then in your mind, there's like they had thousands of hound dogs over there, right?
Yeah, they're also the loudest dog. You're like, how many are out there? Yeah.
Yeah. So this is part of like the memories of a child being grander than they are.
Yeah, and so the dad won some telegram sweepstakes, but once again, he won something that he has no clue what he won or what the prize could even be.
He just wrote in randomly. Yeah.
He was like, it could be a bowling alley. I was like, where are we gonna put a bowling alley in the house?
What the fuck is that? Yeah. Instead, it's a big sexy leg.
He's also like, it could be one of those Pueblo houses. No,
he's a dumbass.
The leg doesn't come until later.
Oh, it's not the leg? What is it?
I mean, it is, but it doesn't come until later.
I forget what happens then.
I mean, it's basically next. But there is
not
one
revealed
scene
yet.
that I hate. And it's that Randy will not eat voluntarily.
Oh, he's playing with putrid.
So the mom makes pig noises to make him eat like a piggy in a trough to trick him. And he's just...
Yeah, and then he's loving it. He fucking goes to town on the mashed potatoes.
His little laugh. I hate
this.
Him.
Is gross. This is
stupid.
Gross. Yeah.
But now,
and even
knocking at the door.
Even Ralphie is like, God.
Oh yeah.
Like, I hate this gross little turd. I hate being his brother.
Yeah. But a knock at the door. And it's funny because the prize is such an anticipation. But they play eerie, suspenseful horror music almost. And the dad knows that the prize is here. The package is giant.
That's right.
And it says fragile on it. And the anticipation of them using a crowbar, opening this giant wooden crate up is incredible. Also shows that the packaging in the 40s
is intense. Not Amazon.
That thing was so small compared to the crate that it was shipped in.
It was so secure though, with handmade wooden box.
Handmade wooden box and hay in there? Was that hay that it was filled with?
Well, that's how things were delivered back in the day, yes.
They didn't have packing peanuts or bubble poppers or anything?
No, the girl I went to junior year homecoming with, her grandfather invented the packing peanut. So this would have been before then.
She sounds hot.
Absolutely incredibly loaded. Her family had so much goddamn packing peanut money. It was crazy.
I can imagine if they invented the packing peanut that they are potentially one of the richest people I've ever met.
It was insane. Yeah. Crazy.
But the dad, he's throwing straw everywhere. It's packed tight until he pulls out an erotic leg.
Big sexy leg, yeah.
And they're like, what the fuck is it? He's like, what's a leg? I want it.
He loves it too.
But it's actually a lamp.
It is a lamp, and you turn it on, and it's got a big fishnet stocking.
And the whole leg lights up, not just the top of the lamp.
And the dad loves it, and the kids love it. Oh, Ralphie loves it
Ralphie
too.
is in bad. He's trying to rub the leg.
He loves the leg.
So the dad I thought that this was a little funny thing that they kept going back. The dad takes it and plugs it into more outlets in one thing than I've ever seen.
Yeah, that's like an old-timey. Yeah, they don't have extensions back or whatever.
They blow the fuse every time they plug something in.
Yeah.
And he places the lamp right in front of the front living room window for all passing by to see. He's outside trying to get her to center it, and the neighbors are piling up across the street, just enamored by the leg. And they're like, "Well, what is it?" The dad's, "It's a major award."
And the mom is so embarrassed too.
Oh, she hates this thing.
Right. Get rid of the
So-
leg. This is the worst. What the fuck is the leg doing here?
Put it in a man cave or something. Don't put it in the front bay window.
It's erotic.
It's so erotic. And that's true. For the 1940s, that is something that's very erotic. We talked about the kissing already that used to happen in TV and movies.
It's like fucking an asshole right in your window.
Jesus Christ.
It is. That's exactly their response.
Yeah, I mean that it's like watching anal porn right in front of your eyes.
Correct.
An alrapist.
And an alrapist.
And so to distract the kids from the lamp, it is 6:45, which means it is little Orphan Annie time on the radio.
Fucking nerds. They don't watch football or shit.
Stupid. They would have had to listen to football.
Yeah. Or play football.
Or play.
Fucking
Yeah.
nerds.
No, instead it's little Orphan Annie time.
My favorite.
You get this a lot. Just a little fast forward montage of the kids being just chased by Scut Farkas and bullied by him. And this is basically
a constant threat.
It's anytime they're going to school and anytime they're coming home. So this is just a little montage to let you know they're going to school.
Yeah.
And the kids are turning in their bullying. The kids are turning in their themes. And as Ralphie does, he has a daydream about Miss Shields grading his paper. She's given everybody Fs until she comes across his masterpiece and is just enthralled by it.
A+, the best thing ever written, gives him a gun on the spot or something.
Yeah. And he's caught in this daydream, like Miss Shields is calling him out in front of the whole class, and they're just making fun of him now.
Embarrassing.
He's a little dork.
I have like kids literally fall asleep in the middle of class now, and kids don't even care.
Yeah.
I'm like, hey, wake up. And they're like, no. I'm like, oh, okay, sorry.
Sorry. Yeah, you're right. I was in the wrong. And then another Scut Farkas montage, which means they're home, and the family is off to buy a Christmas tree. But the mom, as they're about to leave, turns off the lamp. She says they have to save on energy, you know?
Mm-hmm. Foreshadowing.
And they get to the tree place, and they buy just too big of a tree.
Yeah, I'm surprised they're not the type to chop it down. I guess they're pretty commercially driven, though, this family.
Yeah.
It's Cleveland, I guess.
But also, the dad has to negotiate, you know? You've got to barter for things.
He's a haggler.
Over the threat of a plastic tree. This kind of puts a timestamp as well.
I mean, people still have those, don't they?
Yeah, I have a plastic tree.
The one that dates it is not this movie, but the Charlie Brown one where they have like metal trees. And what the fuck is that in the Charlie Brown one? I find the fucking horror show is a metal Christmas tree. I'm gonna go get a drink of water real quick.
That would be so heavy. How would you even move that? But the family is driving home, and the dad's driving, and the whole family is just, aside from the dad, just screaming jingle bells in his ear, just completely out of tune. Jingle bell, jingle all the way, and they're just absolutely going for it. When they get a flat tire. For some reason, I mean, it didn't need to be a part of it, but I liked this, is that the dad's always working on his car, and apparently he always wanted to be like a pit crew person for like NASCAR or something. So he's like, wifey, time me 4 minutes and I'll get it done. So he goes out to change this flat tire, tries to do it under 4 minutes. But the mom's like, Ralphie, go out and help your dad. He's excited to help his dad with something for once.
Be a man, not watch fucking Pussy Annie shit.
And
so
Ralphie,
he gets to hold the lugs.
The hubcap with all the lug nuts in there. But when the dad accidentally knocks it out of his hands, and as the lug nuts go and get lost into the snow, he says something.
Oh, fudge.
Oh, motherfucking cocksucker, asshole, bitch, titty,
more like
fucker.
It. More like
he said the F word.
Said fuck.
And so dad gets back in, Mom tells him it was 8 minutes that it took him to change the tire, not 4. So he's not quite NASCAR pit crew speed level yet, but it's pretty good.
And Ralphie is just like, I'm gonna fucking die.
Yeah, he knows
what's gonna happen to me? Are they gonna shoot me, or are they gonna shock me?
Dad whispers in the ear of the mom what he said, and now he's at home, has a bar of soap in his mouth, and his mom wants
Classic.
to know where he heard this word from. Obviously, it was his dad, but he panics and says, "Poor Schwartzy." And so the mom calls Schwartz's mom, and just over the phone, she's like, "Where did he hear this?" She's like, "Your husband, obviously." She's like, "No, it was from Schwartz." And the mom's like, "What?"
Schwartz!
You just start hearing her beat Schwartz, and he's like, "Oh my god, no!"
Poor Schwartz. Oh, it wasn't me. Yeah, it wasn't even innocently beaten.
Did you see the mom try the soap? Just to kind of.
Well, yeah, and I thought it was funny too because the kid was also like, whatever. Luminol's my favorite. It's got a nice little
this is the best one. Palm Olive sucks.
Yeah.
So Ralphie's in his room crying because he just got punished, and he has another vision of him as a kid adult. He's still in his own body, but he's an adult.
Yeah.
Coming back to his parents' home and showing them that he is blind and telling them that it was all because he ate the soap. The parents cry. It's like his little revenge.
I shouldn't have done that. Yeah.
Yeah.
They're sorry. Did you ever have to eat soap for cursing as a kid?
No.
I did once, and it was some nasty ass shit.
I ate lead.
Clearly didn't work. As I said, nasty ass shit. Yeah, I knew that.
Yeah. And then a Scut Farkas montage, and they're at school. All the kids are giving Miss Shields a Christmas present on her desk. Ralphie overdoes it with a giant fruit basket as a bride.
Yeah, they all give her apples. Yeah, because that's a thing you give the teacher.
Yeah. And then a Scut Farkas montage. Ralphie's home, and he opens the mail, and he's got the secret decoder little Orphan Annie pin in the mail.
Oh my god, he's gonna crack the big secret.
Yeah, he's gets a letter saying he's in the secret circle as an honorary member of the club, and so he's got to listen to the show. He has to decode in the bathroom, right?
Yeah, where spies can't get him or something, I guess.
Yeah, and he's listening in, he's decoding as the music is building. This message has got to be super secret important with how the music's making it be.
It's an ad for Ovaltine.
Be sure to drink your Ovaltine. He's so pissed.
Yeah. America, welcome to it.
And he was in the bathroom. Randy's like about to shit his pants or something. The mom's like, "Come on, let him in there." So finally Randy gets in there and he goes to drop his pants and take a poop. And I loved this cut because it cuts to him as he's sitting on the toilet to Ralphie opening up a pot of full steaming red cabbage, like mixing it around.
A great poop cut, yeah.
They eat so much red cabbage, but they love it. It's cheap and it's easy.
Seems like it'd be gross, but yeah.
Boiled cabbage?
I would think so.
I would think so. They should have some fucking Popeye's chicken sandwiches instead. What is Ovaltine? I don't know what that is.
That's like a chocolate milk drink.
Oh.
Like what's the fucking guy now? Nesquik
and True Moo, and
is there like a brown bunny on Nesquik?
Yeah,
that his thing.
Something like that.
Yeah, that guy. It's like that.
Okay. Yeah. Why don't they just eat like a Popeye spicy chicken sandwich instead for dinner?
And some Xannies.
But if they were to order Popeyes, they would probably mess up their order.
That's probably why they didn't.
There was one time I was in Missoula and I went to get a 3-piece spicy tender meal, and I think I got red beans and rice and mac and cheese and a sweet tea. And I pulled up to the window and they gave me a 12-piece fried chicken with a pound of red beans and rice. And I was like, I ordered the number 7.
And they're like, oh, we can't take that food back.
Yeah. So then I got my own food. So I gave like all the chicken to like a homeless guy with a dog.
That was very nice of you.
Yeah.
This guy is not nice.
Jinjo?
Start behaving. Yeah.
So the dad is in the basement, cursing as usual, working on the furnace, when the noise of glass shattering occurs.
Uh-oh.
He runs upstairs.
The one he loves most of all.
His wife.
No.
It's
Yes,
his
but
lamp.
no. Yeah. Shattered.
The pieces of the lamp in the mom's arm. He's irate because he believes that his wife, the mom, is jealous of the leg lamp, and
on
that she's
purpose.
jealous that he is a winner of a major award. But she straight up tells him, "I hate the fucking thing. I don't want it in the house." And so he needs to get the super glue, but they're out of super glue.
Can't put it back together.
He leaves to get some super glue. He comes back, can't. So he buries it in the backyard.
Unsalvageable. Yeah. Instead of throwing it away, he loves it so much, like a pet, they bury it.
Yeah. And so
Ralphie's sad too.
they're on their way to school again. Obviously, Scott Farkas is going to intercept them.
This is in a montage this time, though.
No. All the kids run away except for he tells Flick to come to him. Why did Flick walk over and listen to Scott instead of run away?
He's just being bullied into submission.
And he should have been submitted. It was a Kimura. But at school, Ralphie gets his theme back.
A+? Nope.
It's C+.
With you'll shoot your eye out as a warning.
Yeah, that's the biggest takeaway. She wrote that at the bottom, just like his mom. And so he's sadly walking home all alone.
All pissed off, too.
Yeah, when he gets pelted in the face by a snowball from the bullies. They tell him that when they tell him to come here, he should come and not run away. And Scott's calling him a little crybaby and laughing in his face.
Coward, yeah.
And something clicks. Yeah.
Little Ralphie, little glasses Ralphie has enough.
Which, I mean, Scott's probably like 4 years older than him, too.
Was he in the class?
No, but he's way bigger. He's probably a tween.
He's bigger, yeah.
And something clicks. He tackles Scott and just starts ground and pound. He's got that top mount just ruthlessly pounding away as he is cussing away just like his dad. Kids are gathered all around watching, kind of cheering him on until they start hearing him cuss, and they're like, whoa.
Well, this fucking bad kid.
They're like, mom's coming, mom's coming. Mom comes to the rescue, and she separates the fight and takes a crying Ralphie home.
Because Ralphie's just so worked up, and now he's going to get in trouble, yeah.
Ralphie's going to die today. And Randy knows it, too. He's hiding under the sink crying. He's like, Daddy's going to kill Ralphie.
Yeah, the fear of dad is very strong in this family.
And I love this because Dad comes home. They're eating meatloaf and red cabbage again or whatever. And he's reading his newspaper. Sure. Ralphie comes down and is like crying, ready to be scolded. And the mom makes Randy come out from under the sink. And like the dad notices Randy come out from the sink. He's like, that was weird. And then just goes back to reading. Like he doesn't question it at all. That was Randy.
He's with it.
And so the mom tells Dad that Ralphie got in a fight.
Yep. But that kind of leaves it at that.
She quickly diverts it to the Bears-Packers game. And then from then on, Ralphie's got a different idea of his mom. Yeah.
Yeah. Looking out for him. And I think a real one. Yeah. The mom definitely comes out better than the dad in this. The dad also just comes up as a dumbass.
She's a homie.
Orderly.
And Ralphie's up at night trying to figure out a new way to get the Red Ryder BB gun, and realizes that if his parents won't get him one, Santa will if he just asks for it.
Sure. So he needs to find a Santa, though.
Yeah, they got to go to Higbee's toy store, but they're at the holiday parade. Did you see the Wizard of Oz crew just start beating up and harassing Mickey Mouse at the parade? All the flying monkeys and the Tin Man were like shoving Mickey around.
There was like a real brawl.
Yeah, it was like Mickey was he was all alone, and there were like 8 flying monkeys picking on him.
I missed it.
It was hilarious. But Ralphie's impatient with the parade, begging his parents to take him to the Higbee's to meet Santa. And they get there, but Ralphie and Randy have to stand in this incredibly long line to see Santa that weaves through all the aisles all the way back to the door.
They're never going to get there, Brandon.
And that kid next to them was the worst.
Yeah, little baby bitch.
Giant goggles on and like a
because name
leather
goggles,
like flying cat. He's, I'm gonna meet Santa Claus. I was like, yeah.
He's probably spectrum coded, yeah.
Yeah. And Santa is at the top of a giant staircase, just hating his job. He's like, I won't work a minute after
He's
9
gross.
o'clock.
He's scary looking.
Oh, super scary. Clock strikes 9. Kids are just screaming on his lap as Santa yells at them, and then the elves just shove the kids down a gigantic slide. Every kid cries.
Yeah, he's terrifying. I mean, and that's probably playing on the idea that like little kids cry at Santa Claus sometimes,
Yeah.
or, you know, but like this is like what they see.
And I loved this as Ralphie gets to the top. This Ralphie like POV like meeting Santa.
Yeah,
The
that's what I
camera
mean,
changes.
yeah.
It's all handheld, and it's pretty great. It's like chaos is ensuing on Santa's lap, but Ralphie freezes.
Yeah, because he's so fucking gross looking. That's my read on it. I hate this cat. You are gonna get fucking beat. What is your deal?
He would shut up. He's gone. But yeah, he freezes and doesn't say anything on Santa's lap. And Santa's like, kid, what about a football? And so Ralphie shakes his head yes to a football, but he stops himself as they throw him down the slide. And he's asked for the Red Ryder BB gun. And Santa,
Even Santa won't oblige.
he says,
He'll shoot your eye
words
out.
he hates the most, you'll shoot your eye out. And Santa kicks him in the face down the slide.
I'm sure that's how it happened, yeah.
And so back at home, the family's setting up the tree on Christmas Eve. It's huge. They also are plugging all the lights into that outlet. They blow the fuse, but it's Christmas Eve and they go to bed. And they wake up the next morning. The anticipation of Christmas Day as a 9-year-old's the greatest thing in the world.
How could you ever sleep?
You wake up early, you come down the stairs, you see everything under the tree, you take a peek, you don't open anything, and you wake up your parents. And Ralphie even awoke to see a winter wonderland outside.
Like he cares about that, though.
And presents galore under the tree. And Ralphie's playing Santa, handing out the gifts to the whole family. And they don't take their turns or anything. They're just all ripping and pulling.
And Randy's claiming everything.
I
That's
love
mine. Yeah.
I love the moment when Randy opens up and he opens up like a blimp and he's like, "Oh my god, a Zeppelin!"
Got a good read, yeah. But no rifle under the tree.
Yeah, but he does get a present from Aunt Claire that the mom insists he opens. And inside is a like if you've seen it, you know, is a notorious giant fluffy pink bunny onesie pajama suit. And it's horrendous. He has to put it on. The dad hates the suit and has him take it off immediately.
Yeah.
And so Randy's passed out. Ralphie's sitting with his parents. The dad's offering him wine and stuff. And he asked him, he's like, "Did you have a good Christmas? You get everything you want?" Ralphie's like, "Yeah, pretty much." But just then he tells Ralphie, he's like, "Is there something behind the desk over there?"
Good dad.
Yeah. Ralphie goes to look and he opens up the gift and it's that Red Ryder BB gun.
Wow. It was there.
He's
the
so
whole
excited.
time.
Dad's proud.
He said I had one when I was a kid.
But the mom's a little worried, obviously.
Still, yeah.
He bought it without her knowing. But Ralphie goes outside to play with his gun. He sets up a target and fires his first shot. For some reason, he had a little target, but it was put on like a metal background. Not the best thing to fire at.
Not smart. It wasn't the bullet that hit him though, right? That's like what it's. I think that's what like the appearance was. I think it was like the kickback.
The idea is that it's the BB bounces off the metal because you hear the ricochet, but I think it is the kickback and it hits him in the face. But he freaks
he's
out.
Like, "Oh my god, I shot myself in the eye." Yeah.
Yeah. And he nearly shooting his eye out. He lost his glasses in the madness, thinking he shot his eye out. So he's searching for them when he steps on them and breaks his glasses.
Now he's fucked.
But he can't tell him that it was because of shooting the gun. So he makes up a story of an icicle falling and hitting him in the eye to not lose his gun.
And he's like fake crying, yeah.
They fall
he gets
for
out
it.
of it. He does, yeah. And then he's like, he gets an old pair of glasses and he's like, "Yes, I get my gun."
He runs inside. He leaves the door open crying. But also the dad is a turkey fiend. He keeps trying to sneak pieces off it. Even though it's not fully cooked yet, the mom's like, "It's got 3 more hours." And he's like,
"That's gross,
I'll just take a little bit of this raw turkey. But he left the door open.
The dogs.
All of Bumpus's hound dogs run in the house and ransack that turkey.
No more turkey.
They destroy their kitchen
No more
table.
turkey on Thanksgiving, on Christmas. Yeah. So they have to outsource it for the last meal.
And a notorious thing for Christmas is that no place is open except for the Chinese restaurants because they aren't celebrating Christmas.
Yep.
So they go to
They got a
Chop
Chinese
Suey's
turkey.
Palace.
What was wasn't it Santa Claus they went to a Chinese restaurant? Was that? I think it was the Santa Claus, right?
Oh, yes. No, they went to a Denny's.
It was.
I thought they went to Denny's.
They might have went to Denny's. I thought they went to
Because
a
Tim
Chinese
Allen
restaurant
burns
and
the
then
turkey.
to Denny's.
Maybe, yeah.
Maybe that's it. Maybe
But
Harry Met Sally. I don't remember.
But the Chinese workers, all the waiters are singing "Deck the Halls" with the heavy accents to the fan. So racist. Rah 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 rah. And everyone's dying laughing. I put that this singing must not have been scripted either because the dad and the mom, even Peter Billingsley as Ralphie's laughing, and they bring out the whole duck, the Peking duck, and they chop its head off. The mom's hysterical, but the family is happy as can be. And adult Ralphie narrates that Christmas will always stay in his memory. He got his present. It was non-traditional, but that's what makes it memorable. And everyone's getting ready for bed as Ralphie's hugging his gun to sleep. And that is the end of A Christmas Story. Yes. A masterpiece for a holiday ho. I mean, it's regarded as one. We'll get into that, though.
We'll get into it. I don't have any quotes.
I know you don't have any quotes. Obviously, you don't have any quotes.
No quote era, baby.
But you did say a couple.
I mean, I watched the movie. I just didn't quote it in this section.
Quote in this section, but while we talked about the movie, you quoted several things.
I did. What? How many quotes are in your possession, Brandon?
10.
Bad cat.
10 quotes.
Okay, fire them away like you got a BB gun on you.
Oh, you want me to? These little bad boys? You want me to get into some quarters?
Yeah. Start off.
Let's get into bang bang.
Ooh. I did forget we had to pause.
Bad cat.
Well, cat is being a bad.
Okay. First one. And Ralphie is an adult. When they get the leg and whatnot, he says, "Only one thing in the world could have dragged me away from the soft glow of electric sex gleaming in the window."
Electric sex, yeah.
That's awesome.
Good way to put it.
Another Ralphie they're mostly Ralphie as an adult because, like you said, this narration kind of style is where the comedy
it's pretty rich.
He says, "Some men are Baptists, others are Catholics. My father was an Oldsmobile man."
That's the church. It was a lack of religion in this movie.
Yeah. Okay, this is one that I took down from IMDb so that I could do some of the gibberish that he says while doing it. But old man goes, "Oh, for Christ's sake, open the damper, will ya? Who turned it all the way down? Again? Oh, blast it. Poop, flirt, rattle, crap, camel, flirt, you blunder, frattle, beak, struckle, brat of a womp, sack, sut, bottom, fodder." And then Ralphie goes, "In the heat of battle, my father wove a tapestry of obscenities that, as far as we know, is still hanging in space over Lake Michigan."
Yeah, pretty good writing. Yeah,
that's poetic as hell.
It is poetry.
Another one. We talked about this one. One that you stole. "Over the years, I've got to be quite a connoisseur of soap. My personal preference was for Lux, but I found Palmolive had a nice piquant after-dinner flavor. Heady, but with a touch of mellow smoothness. Life Buoy, on the other hand."
That's the bad one.
Yeah.
The blind one. That's
genius too. Connoisseur, piquant, heady. Those are beautiful words. Another one you took. Ah, fragile. It must be Italian.
Yeah, it's like it's fragile, dumbass.
Fragile, honey. Which is that's a classic quote from
Yeah,
this.
fragile.
That and probably You'll Shoot Your Eye Out are the two
Mm-hmm.
biggest ones. Another one that you took.
Mm-hmm.
Ralphie, be sure to drink your Ovaltine. A crummy commercial. The son of a bitch.
Yeah, what the fuck? I would feel the same. The same.
I don't. This must have been when the turkey goes. I don't have context for this one, but Ralphie goes, "Oh, life is like that. Sometimes at the height of our revelries, when our joy is at its zenith, when all is most right with the world, the most unthinkable disasters descend upon us." Which
I think
is
that's right. Yeah,
that is like truly
that's
deep and beautiful. It's not funny.
Freud.
It's yeah.
But it's funny in the context of the Bumpus's hound dogs ate the turkey. Yeah.
Yeah. One that isn't big worded or anything. It's not verbose in any way, but Ralphie is an adult going, Scut Farkas. What a rotten name. We were trapped.
Yeah.
There he stood between us and the alley. Scut Farkas staring at us with his yellow eyes. He had yellow eyes, so help me God. Yellow eyes.
He had jaundice like your brother.
And like Michael Jordan, maybe.
Like Carter Snedeker.
Too much Billy Rubin. Like Carter Snedeker.
Sort of your Randy, if you will.
Some would say my little piggy of a brother.
Your little Randy pig. He did do that.
And then my penultimate quote. This is when he was decoding in the bath. 90 seconds later, I was in the only room in the house that a 9-year-old could sit in private and decode.
Yeah, without being bugged by the family.
Decode. A good masturbation
Is that a masturbation joke? Yeah.
Yeah. And the dad, when he opens up the BB gun and he lets him go out there, he goes, the mom goes, don't shoot any animals or birds. The dad just goes, except the Bumpus's dogs, shoot them.
That's good.
So tired of the dogs.
Bumpuses.
And
Shoot 'em
in your
all.
quotes again?
Yeah, you had all of my 10.
Oh yeah, I took them. Wow, exact same
The
ones.
same 10.
That's a first, I think.
That's a 10.
It's a 10. So that means it's ratings time.
Ooey baby.
Thermometer.
We know that's the sound for ratings time. Ooey baby. Thermometer.
Ooey baby.
Thermometer.
Ratings
Ooey baby.
time.
I'm gonna guess that this is highly regarded.
Ooey baby. Let's give a rating.
Ooey baby. Let's give it a 80. No, let's give it a 84 on the
You should have stuck with 80. It's a 79.
Oh, I just said that to rhyme, but
I know.
Baby, 80.
But remember, that's 5%. That's not too far off, and you were killing
pretty good.
it
I was
at the
good at the
budget
budget.
game.
So I'm still in line. I'm locked in.
So 79 for critics. What do you think audiences gave this?
Probably an 84.
It's 76.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah.
Still within 10.
Still within 10. IMDb Metascore. This is out of 100.
This is out of 100, so this is going to be a 70.
70 flat.
Yep.
77.
Ooh, wee baby. They're all within 10.
They're all within 10. And we had 10 quotes.
The lucky number 11.
And my last one is audience score. IMDb out of 10.
6.9.
7.9.
Oh, 10. Wow, that's pretty good
Still
ratings.
within 10. So, critics 79 and 77 for a 78, and audiences 76 and 79 for a 77 and a half.
That's very close to each other.
Yeah. Honestly.
Is it my turn? Is that what you're gonna say?
It is your turn. What are you giving this?
This is, I think this is a 7.1 for me personally.
Okay.
On the lasagna scale. Yeah. I liked a lot of it. I think maybe having seen it so many times just in my own passing, that a lot of it was kind of already burned into my head, and all the big grand points of the movie I think everyone knows, but I think the rest of the movie lacks a little bit around the periphery. I do enjoy the narration and writing, even if it was a touch much at times. I think 7.1. It's a holiday classic. I think it tells a certain point of America, but I don't necessarily think it's a big holiday epic masterpiece.
Sure.
Over to you, Brandon.
I am right around this average. I'm a 7.9. Once
Okay.
again, it's not, and in Christmas films and holiday films, I think you're limited in the medium of what you can do. It's going to be
Yeah.
hard to get anything above a 9. I really enjoy Elf. Home Alone's probably my favorite. Nice little like burglary twist to a film, but I think this
Yeah.
does a good job of capturing the 40s and the production design in that. Then, like you said, the narration is witty and wonderful. I think they do a good job of getting into the mind of a child, as well
I think so. As
as
like the nostalgia of it too.
yeah, and some good acting performances. I think Peter Billingsley had some really good moments
It's
of
good.
physical and
Good
acting,
kid.
and so did the
It's a
dad and the
good
mom.
boy.
Were both pretty good. So once again, I guess it's a masterpiece for the genre, but I don't think the film is necessarily a
I
masterpiece in general.
I've said it a bit before. I got a lot of Woody Allen out of this, and I think he does that sort of thing better.
Sure.
Honestly, even if this is and that's a little, it's an area I enjoy, but I think this is Woody Allen is like a wholesome Christmas story, if you would, almost.
Yeah. So between us, a 7.5 average, that's right with critics and audiences. We're both a critic and an audience.
I think, yeah, I consider myself an amateur critic.
Yeah.
We do a movie podcast. I think that qualifies.
Yeah. And you want to hear some reviews from, first off, some experts.
Professional critics.
Yeah. There's 3 of them.
Roger Ebert, Chicago Sun-Times.
He's my third one.
Hey, let's go.
First off, Vincent Canby, New York Times.
Yeah, New York Times.
He says the movie's big comic pieces tend only to be exceedingly busy. Though Mr. Billingsley, Mr. Gavin, Miss Dillon, and the actress plays Ralphie's schoolteacher are all very able, they are less funny than actors in a television situation comedy.
Yeah. Yo.
Leonard Maltin at Leonard Maltin's Movie Guide says,
This guy.
delightful and truly funny for kids and grown-ups alike, with wonderful period flavor. 4 stars.
Ew.
Tastes like a menstrual
flavor.
period.
Yeah, ew.
The
Gross.
the flavored jelly beans, the birds.
Yeah.
You either get period or cherry.
Yeah. But what about his Rog? He's really what this hangs on.
Big Rog Chicago Sun-Times says the film had only modest success because holiday themed films were not popular at the time. 3 out of 4 stars.
Okay. He's pretty with us.
75 like us, but then retroactively years later gave it a 4 out of 4.
Sort of classic status.
Yeah.
In the moment, it was a 3.
And I don't know what Leonard Maltin's one goes through. He gave it 4 stars. Maybe it's 4, maybe it's 5.
That seems to be what the consensus
critics
is.
like to do.
Those fucks. Yeah.
And then people like us, some users.
Some drug users. Okay.
I've got 7.
Little songbird.
First drug user is the little drug bird.
Little drug bird.
On December 30th, 2010, she says, I love Christmas movies. And while A Christmas Story is not my absolute favorite, I think it fully deserves its title as a timeless Christmas treasure. The film looks great with the cinematography skillful and the locations striking. The script is always witty and insightful. I loved the home truths and the lack of smut and saccharine, with which had marred the film slightly if included. The story is beautifully structured and an enormous joy all the same. The pace was spot on too, and while the entire cast performed impeccably. In fact, everything I have to say about A Christmas Story is good. It could have been a little longer perhaps, But overall, this film is a classic and never less than hugely enjoyable. 9 out of 10.
She does love Christmas movies. That's right. I remember that about her too.
And I'm not going to argue if you give this movie a 9 out of 10,
Especially
honestly.
like on that scale too.
Yeah.
With that in mind, yeah.
Next is Snorty Style, this drug user.
It's Snorty Style.
December 24th, 2013, they say, there are many laughs to be had in this movie, but it always starts with licking the frozen pole. Every year, this is a gut-wrenching laugh. It never gets old. Flick is hilarious. Just thinking about him screaming makes me laugh. The other can't stop laughing moment has to be the creepy Santa and his irate elves. It starts with the elves dragging the kids in and doesn't end until Ralphie lands flat on his back. This is a Christmas classic for the whole family. Weird. 8 out of 10.
Yeah, weird Snorty Style.
Usually he's a little more insightful than that.
Yeah, that was a dumbass review. Come on, Seth.
Next up is by...
Is it a returner?
It is a return. Who do you think it is?
Lee Eisensniff?
No, good guess.
I don't know.
By PCP Mark. Prismark 10.
PCP Mark, yeah.
December 26, 2016, this drug addict has to say, A Christmas Story has become a festive classic in North America, with a lot of subsequent films trying to replicate its success. Darren McGavin looks too old to be their dad. Peter Billingsley brings a lot of charm as the precocious, bespectacled Ralphie. For him, life never quite turns out as he imagined in his head, such as laying hints of what it would be like for Christmas. It is whimsical and fun, brought to you by the directors of Porky's. 6 out of 10.
Sure. It probably means more coming from people who know what Porky's is.
Yeah, I don't know what it is.
I know it's a sex comedy, but
that's all I know too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Next one's a returner.
Cosmasp.
Nope.
Lee Eisenberg.
It's Weed Eisenberg.
It's Weed Eisenberg. This
drug user said on December 19th, 2005, right in the midst of writing The Office.
Wow. Yeah. Right while he was doing it.
There have been so many sappy, mind-numbing, Christmas-related movies that it's always a relief when they make a good one. A Christmas Story is a prime example, focusing on a series of things occurring in the lead-up to the Christmas in 1940s Indiana, as seen by young Ralphie Parker. The movie provides its share of humor. I never even heard of a Red Ryder BB gun until I saw this movie. Another interesting aspect of the movie is Ralphie's family. Although they appear to be affluent, there's a sense of a working class in their lives, as shown by the attitudes of the mom and dad. My favorite scenes are the flagpole, fudge.
I don't seem to be affluent. What?
Yeah. The lamp and the visit to Santa. What kind of a Santa Claus was that? Cool. 7 out of 10.
I don't think they're like wealthy.
No, I don't think so.
I thought they were like Malcolm in the Middle style anyways.
Yeah, they definitely feel like working. They have a broken car and a broken furnace all the time.
Miss from Lee.
And the mom is stay at home, but the dad is working
blue collar. Yeah.
Yeah, it definitely seems like that. The next one is a returner, but I've rarely used them. No, that's a returner.
Who is this guy?
Studio AT. What's a drug name I could do with that?
Studi Blow AT.
There you go. Studi Blow AT. December 20th, 2022. This drug user has to say, some Christmas films do a lot for you. Others don't. This for me was more of a film that came very, very highly recommended and yet did absolutely nothing for me. It was a struggle to get from the start to the end. I don't know why this was. Maybe I wasn't in the festive spirit. Maybe the characters and indeed the storyline just didn't grab me enough. But ultimately, this wasn't a film I overly enjoyed or would rush to see every Christmas. I'm thrilled, though, that so many people do rate it so highly and that it's one of their festive films cycle every Christmas. But for me, it was too cutesy. 2 out of 10.
I'm happy for you energy. I'm thrilled.
Completely understanding. He's like, it wasn't for me, you guys. I love that you love it.
I love it. Yeah.
It's a fucking movie.
Positive guy. It's a movie. That's why you do it.
That's what you do.
That's why we're out here.
Penultimate is by, I think, a newcomer, and it's in all caps. The whole thing is in all caps, but I'm not going to shout it.
Okay.
By Jeff89.
Jeff89.
Meth89.
Meth89, of course.
On January 20th, 1999.
Whoa.
This drug user says, I love this movie. I saw it in the theaters when I was 8, and I thought it was so funny. I liked the part where Randy stuffed his face in the meatloaf. That's just hilarious. To me, I think the bullies did the best job in this movie. Peter Billingsley did a good job, but Zach Ward and Yano Anaya just stole this movie. The best part in this movie is where Peter Billingsley attacks the bullies. That scene just tears it. I hope TNT will run it for 24 hours again in 1999. 10 out of 10. Bizarre. They love the bullies just so much.
Yeah. They stole the show.
And the last one is by this drug user, Alex H90.
Alex Heroin 90.
That's what I was going to say. May 9th, 2006. This drug user has to say, Christmas Story seems to be a mockery of everything that Christmas should stand for. The film is depressing and lewd. Violence, 'tis the season to be shooting, is a theme of the film. It is truly the worst Christmas movie ever. If you want your children to see a more uplifting Christmas film, I would suggest Bad Santa. Or if you don't celebrate Christmas, perhaps Schindler's List. The acting is terrible, and the child star is a true Christmas dwarf. Maybe Santa needs a new helper, little dwarf, which is probably what the actor is up to today. 1 out of 10.
Weird. I like the Schindler's List comparison. I think that's a comparison that's not made enough. A Christmas Story and Schindler's List.
Closer
Which
than you
is,
think.
I think the ending, just to refute the point of Schindler's List, is deeply moving and deeply uplifting. Moving.
This person's so anti-gun, though.
I mean, me too. But it's a movie.
It's a movie. But that is going to end A Christmas Story for the holiday hoes and our holiday season and our season 8 movie.
Of giving.
Woo! Of giving. You get a movie and you get a movie.
We got movies. Next week we have a bracket incoming.
Next week we have a bracket. And it sounds like it's only going to be Lucas and I, so we're going to figure out something. We might try and get some guests
we'll just
or
do
something.
A show. Yeah.
We'll probably get a vampire-based movie critic AI thing going, because why not?
Of course.
Speaking of movies, everybody gets a movie. I was at Target today. In the $5 movie area, I bought Blade Runner 2049.
That's a good steal.
Which is a blind spot for me. I haven't seen that or Blade Runner.
Great film.
Tell me.
Films. Amazing movies.
Do I need to watch the first Blade Runner before watching Blade Runner 2049?
I think they can be standalones. You get more
if I watch the original.
I think it's a richer text if you watch the original.
Okay, I just needed to know that. So thank you all for tuning into season 8 and supporting us. Once again, Venmo Lucas Lawrence.
Yeah,
$50 will go a long way for him.
Sure will.
It'll help us bring content by making him happier and giving him what he needs.
Give me a watch.
And that will help with content too.
And knowing what time it is and everything.
And having watches. Yeah.
Yeah. I got this one from Alex on my wrist right now.
Oh, hell yeah.
It's like a MC Escher type deal.
That's pretty sick. I like it. Yeah, that's tune into the second YouTube at 109.05 as Lucas destroys everything. But that is gonna end it. Thank you, Lucas.
Thank you, Brandon.
And thank you, listeners. Have a merry whatever you celebrate.
Have a merry whatever you celebrate.
And a good douche.
Good douche. Know when to fold them.
Know when to walk away. Know when to run. Oh,
Alex thought it was weird when I was crying at that song the other day.
tell her she
I'm
doesn't
like,
even know.
That's what guys do.
A Christmas Story 2. I usually just do them in the same recording, but I accidentally did
Audio
the second
file.
one. Yeah. Let's
I
see.
should have sent you the first bit already, I think.
Yep, you did.
Okay, good.
But I still have to finish
Yeah.
my editing for
sure.
Jingle All the Way. I realized I didn't do a video on the second part of it, so
I thought I saw that too. I thought my screen was just being wacky, but
it's because we had to create a new call because it wasn't working. And so I recorded that like 4-minute segment before the call shut down and then forgot to do the next one.
Gotcha. That's okay.
Yeah, that's okay.
Cool. All right, big dog. We'll bracket next time.
We'll bracket. And we'll have to figure out a time because
that's cool. Yeah,
it's Christmas Eve. Christmas is when.
I mean, I'll be open a lot after Thursday.
Okay. I work Saturday, Sunday.
Maybe Friday.
I work the weekend. Could be Friday. If we can get all of our stuff in by then.
I think I can. But yeah.
I can. It depends if Seth can. Or if Devin can.
We'll see.
We'll see.
All right, Captain Sully.
Later. Peace.
Peace.